Can you hear me okay? You've decided to take a work break. So we're on our Zoom group inside the Therapeutic Living Circle. We're live on YouTube and on Instagram. So no matter where you're coming from, I'm glad that you're here. And we will be doing a simple breathwork and meditation practice or guided attention practice, specifically for working with stress. So if in your home life, work life, you've been standing a lot, maybe be seated. If you've been seated a lot, maybe be standing or lying flat. No matter what position you're in, with your eyes open, just sort of orient yourself to your physical space. So take in the room around you, see your environment, and as best you can, try not to have any judgments about the environment. Just notice colors, notice the quality of light, notice any sounds, and allow your body to take any movements or wiggles that you need to. And a little bit different than sort of maybe how we've seen meditative practices are supposed to be. During this work break, if you intuit or feel that your body wants to move any particular way, allow it to do so. So really much of coping with stress is coming into presence and coming into feeling and tending to need. So as things get really stressful, we tend to overlook ourselves and some of the basic things that we need. So as you settle into whatever space that you're in and into your senses, just notice if any awareness of need arises. So that could be thirst, that could be a change of position, and that could be a big deep breath. So we'll do one together. Nice big inhale and an exhale, just in whatever way feels comfortable. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And now for the next few breaths, we'll really tend to our need for oxygen and take 5 to 10 really big, deep breaths in and out of the nose. So as though you were chugging air, really making a focused, concentrated effort to bring as much air in as you can. Maybe even hold the air in and then exhale and get all of the air out. Keep going like this. Big breath in and all the breath out. And if this is your first time doing this, or if you notice any lightheadedness, just take the cues from your body to lighten up if it feels like a bit much. On your next inhale, inhale the breath and hold the breath in. And then exhale. And then for the next few breaths, make a focus effort to smell your inhale and smell your exhale. and really feel whatever surface you're in contact with. So all of your focus and attention is coming to your sense of smell and your sense of place, what surface area you're in contact with, where you are on the earth. And if at any time over the course of the next minutes you find that you welcome closing the eyes, do so, or you can keep the eyes open and focused on a single point, possibly at just above the screen where you could be taking in my image, but maybe not staring right at the screen. So letting your eyes have a break. And then if they're opened or closed, think of having soft eyes. So they're relaxed around the eye sockets and open to your peripheral vision. And continue to smell the inhale and smell the exhale. So often when we think of breath work, we think of maybe some vigorous breath work where there's lots of movement of the breath or some particular magical technique, but the foundation of all breath work is a smooth, deep, even, steady breath. So being able to feel that the diaphragm moves down smoothly and consistently as you inhale, and as you exhale, there's an upward movement of the diaphragm that presses the breath out. So we'll focus attention here at the muscle that's going to bring breath in. And with our eyes soft and focused, either on the backs of the eyelids or above or below your screen, bring your attention towards your physical body and the movement of your diaphragm. So we're orienting ourselves to our physical senses and uniting mind and breath. So every time that you notice that your mind moves into analysis or judgment, simply return to the felt presence of your diaphragm moving. Excuse me. And what can you notice about the ease or difficulty in which you experience bringing your attention to the felt sense of your diaphragm, bringing breath in as you inhale in and down, and the breath moving out as the diaphragm releases and moves upward. Having this felt sense at the solar plexus, sort of bringing our center of self down, is one of the fastest techniques for returning to presence and being able to address what's happening in our current environment rather than all of the worry or brooding that the mind tends towards. So an easeful, steady breath. And although this technique seems so simple, it is, again, the prerequisite to any further breath work that you might be hearing about, because we first have to really be able to soothe and regulate the nervous system, to return ourselves to presence again and again is what we're practicing. So the easiest way to do that is through the senses and the breath. Smelling the inhale, the diaphragm descends, contracts. Smelling the exhale, the diaphragm ascends and relaxes. See if you can begin to have a felt sense of this passive or relaxed exhale. That just happens. In states of stress, you'll notice that the exhale is short or maybe even non-existent after your inhale. So this practice, done in small doses with high frequency, can help begin to train the muscle memory of the breath for these qualities of smooth, deep, even, without noise or jerks. And then become aware of your shoulders and your chest and see if you can maintain stillness in this area. So if there's a tendency for breath to feel high, keep bringing breath down low and keep the shoulders relaxed and soft. And any ability that you have to soften the physical structure of your body can again help this relaxation response. The reason we're doing this particular practice at this particular time is because this is what's known in Ayurveda as the Vata time of day, or where the air and space element are most predominant. And so our focus of our meditation is on earth and water. So we're focusing on our physical presence, our physical body, and the rhythm of breath. So for the next several breaths, count the inhale and count the exhale. Notice, what is your rhythm? And this counting of the breath can be an additional way to bring your attention to presence. But for now, release that practice and just note how long your inhale tends to be and how long your exhale tends to be. And return to a felt sense of your physical presence and a feeling of this rhythm. And now, instead of just feeling the diaphragm and its movement down and up, see if you can feel the expansion of breath side to side as you inhale and exhale in a rhythmic, steady way. Mind and attention again and again, returning to the focus of the breath. We'll bring our attention to the transitions of breath while continuing to fill breath in and down and allowing the side body to expand with breath. Noticing the transition between inhale and exhale. How smooth and effortless can you make this transition, as if it were a floating transition with no pause at all. There can be a tendency to overfill, especially when we are thinking that we're going to be doing breath work, that we really need to have this really deep, exaggerated breath. But for now, think about what is the most easeful breath that you could have, not over efforted. Smooth, effortless transition. Doing breath practice at this particular time of day where we're transitioning from the heat and the fire of the midday to the air and space of the later afternoon, focusing on the transitions of your breath can help smooth out the rhythm of your day. Continuing to have a felt sense of the movement of the diaphragm down and to the sides, bring your attention to your sense of hearing. To hear this smooth quality of breath. And we'll shift our attention to the focus being on the transition between exhale and inhale. So as you empty on the exhale, you may need to add effort so the exhale is complete. So you may need to add a little bit of action to the movement of the diaphragm up to empty completely, especially if this is your first time doing some training of the breath. So as though you're emptying out of anything that was previous to this moment, empty of breath, allow for the briefest of pauses after exhale before inhaling in and down and feeling the expansion of breath in all directions through the torso. So mind and attention is present with this region of the body, this area of the solar plexus, and listening to the breath and listening to the body. And so this concludes our 20-minute work break. So if you have a few more minutes to sit in silence and listen to your breath, that's great. But doing your best as you move into activity to maintain this awareness of yourself here, oriented to